Hello, friend. I have a story to tell you today. It's the story of my daughter's life. She died of lung cancer at the age of 39, and I have written a book which I think is helpful to us today in the very difficult circumstances in which we live. It brings hope and encouragement and a sense that all is well. I hope you enjoy it. Episode 2. The level of anxiety in Shirley's voice as she tells me about being sent for x-rays alarms me. The agony of the leg biopsy leaves me hurting for her. She doesn't complain easily, so I know it's been truly terrible. She talks more and more of increasing pain. "Mum, what can all this possibly mean?" she asks, her angst deep and dire. I don't know what to say. I think back to her last visit, for Brian and me waiting at the airport late on Friday night, the 18th of March 2013, the anticipation mounts. The doors swing open. Her great dress sense hasn't failed her. Still dressed for the presentation she's done for her IT firm, in very high heels and a flimsy autumn-coloured dress, we find her breathtaking. We are glad she hasn't had time to change out of her work clothes. What rounds it all off is the gentle waves of long, flowing golden hair. No wonder her friends have changed her surname from Cameron to Glamorin, and her smile's the winning smile we all celebrate. Shirley's deeply tired. She sleeps a lot. She munches her beloved cheese-flavoured knickknacks on an ageing weather sunbed in the backyard. Having her with us makes everything we do that weekend just that much more wonderful. We savour the brass bell at Kalk Bay. We also sit at sunset at Maestro's and watch the sun gently kiss Table Mountain goodnight. Between courses, Shirley scrolls through the pics on her iPhone. She's obviously glad to be here and wants to share these with us, and it makes her all unusually chatty and expansive. She begins with photos of her skydiving days near Citrusdal close to Cape Town. "With my first jump, I managed to land in a prickly orange tree," she remembers. "The only nice thing about it was the wonderful scent. It was in full bloom." More pics follow, like the one of her in her sky blue and cerise pink jumpsuit, in a formation jump with 2 others. Next, she finds the pics of her full marathon runs. Of the London Marathon, she says, "You should have seen the blisters on my feet." Of the New York Marathon, she says, "I was so stiff and sore, but I did have a day to spare in the Big Apple, so I walked and limped for miles through art galleries. You don't want to know about my feet." Dinner is served. We fall silent, busy now with the business of eating. When coffee arrives, Brian asks for more pictures. She hesitates but scrolls down. "Oh, look at these." Shirley titters at the sight of her, skis wide apart, spread-eagled in the snow. "I've improved, you know. I actually avoid trees now. I used to give every tree I hugged a guy's name." She scrolls down a bit more. "Oh, just look at this," she sniggers. It's a short video from Nick of Glam Bum, as her friends on the slopes call her. She and Nick met on the ski slopes in Austria after Christmas 2011. Nick's managed to photograph that part of her anatomy many times, or so their friends tease, as she whoops away at speed. For a moment or two, she's quiet, remembering that day in the sunshine on the French Alps. The next pic is of her getting into a Lamborghini. Our IT team was completing team training. We all took a turn to drive. The guys drove too fast, she explains, but I drove really carefully, so I won. She does quite a bit more scrolling while we wait. Then she finds some pics of her kitted out for scuba diving. There's a murky pic of her having a tete-a-tete with a white-tipped shark. She's named him Bob. A few more pics follow, this time of the ski slopes near Salt Lake City, where she's just been with her workmates. She becomes wistful and her voice grows soft. Obviously, she absolutely loves outdoor action and such unusually downy, powdery snow. We are really very sad when Shirley's lightning visit comes to an end. She's loved being back in South Africa, and we've loved it too. She's genuinely sorry it's been so short. She tells us enthusiastically that she plans to come more often and that she's coming back soon. That was March 2013. I don't know why, but now I jerk back to the present. What can April 2013 bring us, I wonder? How do I react to the bump on her leg, the worried physio, the tests and biopsies? Dread squeezes my very soul. As her angst and pain increases, so does mine. Next time the phone rings, I don't want to pick it up, but I do want to, and always do. Time after time, and this time too, I feel the distance between us. Shirley's in Wokingham in Reading, and we are 6,000 miles away in Cape Town. "Mum," she says mournfully, "they think it's only stages 1 or 2. "Oh, God," I say under my breath. My dismay deepens. How can I even contemplate the possibility that it is cancer? I haven't even been able to say the word, let alone consider the possibility of the prince of dread diseases. So great is my struggle with denial. I certainly can't even think about stages 3 and 4. Anything more is off the charts for now. Helplessly I reason, okay, if it is only stages 1 or 2, there's hope, isn't there? Maybe they've found it early enough, and maybe they can just remove it all in one fell swoop and we can move on with our lives. I remember the massacre in 1993 during the evening service at St. James Church, Kenilworth, Cape Town. The day after the shooting, I had a strong desire to clean up the damage in the auditorium. I had just been shot at, with the AK-47s that killed 11 people in the church around me and wounded 58 others. What I wanted was to fix it so that everything could go back to the way it was before. We'd just wipe it all away, as if it never happened. Once the police had given us permission, a team of us went in to clean up. We wiped up bucket after bucket of blood. Pathetically, I straightened the books in the pews, as if that could make it all right again. Now it's the same thing again. Again, what's happened is so terrible that I can't allow it. I need to wipe it all away, to deny all of it, as if that could set things right. I certainly can't even think about stages 3 and 4. That's off the charts. If it's only stage 1 or 2, there is still hope, isn't there? Maybe they found it early enough, and maybe they can just remove it all and we can move on with our lives. What's happened is so terrible that I need to wipe it all away, as if that could be done. I toss and turn and hate the long hours of the night. Next morning I wake up to find myself sobbing. "No, no, no," I cry, the words crescendoing from the depths of my soul. I shriek the words. They shred the silence of the house and Brian's heart as he holds me close. Who could think that such a small 2-letter word could express so much shock, so much horror and agony? And who could think, how can I think, of what might lie ahead? I've been reading from my book, Mum, Please Help Me Die, the story of my daughter Shirley's battle with cancer. If you'd like to get a copy of the book, please contact me. You can do that at the following email address, thai@mumpleasehelpmedie.co.za. I hope you'll be with me again next week. Goodbye.